What's up, y'all? This is episode 5 of the Sci-Fly Zone, where the multiverse meets the 7th inning stretch. I'm Trenton, and I'm joined by my co-host here, CJ. And today, we'll be talking about the brand new DC universe and its official first feature film in Superman and the major heroes and villains that are going to appear in the movie, and how the DCU is going to vary from the previous DC universe known as the DC Extended Universe, and what we as fans are looking forward to seeing in the near future for the DCU. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get right into it, shall we? How excited are you, CJ, about all this stuff in regards to DC?
Yeah, I'm super excited, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun following this through. It's cool being able to start from seemingly a new storyline, a new universe. It's gonna be cool to kind of follow that through. I don't have a lot of previous experience with Superman and Superman movies and shows and such, but and DC in general, so I think it's a good time for me to really start getting into it with the new storylines coming in. It's a good time to be a new fan, Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, James Gunn and Peter Safran, those are the two heads of, or at least the two creative leads of the DC universe. And so they have a lot of weight on their shoulders, as, people like you who know, they've been seeing a lot of marketing for Superman, and they're like, holy crap, new Superman movie. That's pretty cool. But, and there are also going to be a lot of younger people, like us, who maybe didn't get into DC as much as Marvel, or just didn't get into DC for whatever reason. And James Gunn and Peter Safran have the opportunity to really form our opinions on these characters from these specific interpretations. We'll grow up with these characters in mind, like how we grew up with Tony Stark with being played by Robert Downey Jr., or Captain America being played by Chris Evans. Those were our definitive iterations of those characters. So, and a lot of people feel like Henry Cavill, is going to be their definitive Superman. So I'm going to be, a lot of people don't like the recast. So we will get into that. We will get into the recast. But yeah, the new DCU is officially here. With the first major film release being Superman coming out next month, July 11th. Like I said before, James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to be the co-CEOs of the company, while still retaining their respective roles, with Gunn continuing to direct films and Peter Safran producing them. CJ, how did you feel about James Gunn being the guy taking the lead for DC?
It was exciting for me. James Gunn, one of the few filmmakers that I recognize, obviously he did great work with Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a great series. I think he's done really good stuff with Marvel, and he's actually worked with in DC in the past as well. He's done stuff with Peacemaker. He worked on season 1. I believe he's working on season 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he does kind of have an idea of what how the DCU and the MCU kind of differ, and what's going to be expected of him, and how he can kind of add to the story in the DCU while also bringing something original himself.
Yeah, exactly. And he won't have to deal with any studio change or iterations, because he is the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those who don't know, Guardians 3, he had to rewrite the story due to the way they handled Gamora in Infinity War and Endgame, with her dying and then coming back to life via time travel, and that time traveled variant coming into the present timeline. So James Gunn had to write that version of Gamora into the version that we know today, as before he had a different story in mind. And I also want to clarify, last episode in the outro, I said James Gunn directed Scooby-Doo, and that's a mistake. He wrote the movies and co-produced the second one. And really quick here, I do want to highlight Peter Safran, because I didn't really know much about him, because he is mainly a movie producer, and just me as a person, I don't really get into movie producers that much. You know, like I do know my fair share of actors and directors, but you know, I should really get into knowing more producers. I mean, like I know like a lot of directors tend to produce things as well, but Peter Safran, he's directed many successful projects in the horror genre, including Conjuring 1, 2, Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It, Annabelle, Annabelle Creation, Annabelle Comes Home, Nun 1 and 2, and the upcoming and final installment of The Conjuring, which is set to come out later this year in September. And he also has many staples in the parody genre as well, which parody films need to come back, by the way. Those they're awesome. But he made a disaster movie, Vampires Suck, Starving Games. For those who are into parody films, those are staples. And he also has produced superhero films. He's produced Aquaman 1 and 2, Shazam 1 and 2. He worked with James Gunn on the Suicide Squad, and he will be producing Superman and Supergirl as well. So this guy is the perfect resume for producing superhero movies because he can do humor, satire, elements of horror, psychological thriller type stuff, and he's worked in cinematic universes as well. And he's being paired with one of the most committed comic book sci-fi movie directors and writers out there. So, you know, I'm really excited for what these two are gonna do for this universe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be really exciting. Really interested to see what they're gonna do, collaborating, and yeah, it's gonna be great for the DC universe.
So yeah, I know you mentioned before about Superman. I wanted to get more into just that movie in general and what we can look forward to expecting from it. So I know you said before that you didn't really have much of a relationship with Superman, but if you could just dive more into that a little bit.
Yeah, so I've never really I guess like followed along with the storyline and the arc of the character and like the whole DC universe itself. Obviously, like when I was younger, like as a kid, I was watching like some of the cartoons of superheroes, you know. I would watch like I'd see like Superman in cartoons, Teen Titans Go. It was awesome.
It's a banger.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be getting a new Teen Titans movie in the future too, so it's gonna be cool.
They're casting for it next month, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So yeah, I'm still a very new Superman fan. I think that I don't know. I'm just excited to really learn a lot from this first movie coming out. Learn a lot from you because I know that you know you're a little more educated on DC than I am. So yeah, I think that's a good time, especially with like the recasting. Obviously, we'll get into that a little later, but yeah, I think it's going to be cool to kind of experience a new Superman as a new fan, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I would be down to get into the recasting right now, if you're down.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, the man slated for the job, David Cornsweet. It's a crazy last name. Like when I first heard it, I was like, whoa. But he's got very big shoes to fill as he's the lead actor in their debut major feature film. I mean, obviously major controversy, frustration, and disagreement with the recasting of Henry Cavill, who was our previous Superman in the Zack Snyderverse DC Extended Universe. And I say Zack Snyderverse because a lot of his interpretations of the characters were kind of carried on and expanded upon in the DC Extended Universe. And a lot of fans like to regard it as the Snyderverse as well. So that's also plays into my wording. But yeah, this frustration was especially prevalent following the disastrous release of Black Adam. Remember that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. I do.
Me and CJ saw Black Adam in theaters, and there were cool parts of the movie for sure, but you know, the movie was predicted to, and I quote, change the hierarchy of power in the DC universe. But it kind of did, but not in the way that it wanted it to. Because the film's post-credit scene featured Henry Cavill's Superman meeting Black Adam, hinting at a future between the two, possibly as allies or as enemies. Which, you know, that, like, those two are very powerful individuals, and in the animated shows and some movies, they, you know, they definitely fight each other and cause some crazy damage to the area that they're fighting in, whether it be a city or just a unpopulated area. It's a massive event. But what happened was, shortly after, Henry Cavill got recast. And people were like, what the heck? Why even bring him back for this post-credit scene hinting at this big future in the universe if not only he's going to get recast, but the DC extended universe is just going to get rebooted almost as a whole, officially ending any possibility for these interpretations of these characters to see any future closure. So, how do you feel about the recast?
I think it's very interesting, man. You know, obviously I totally get why so many fans are upset or frustrated with the recast. Obviously, I was hearing a lot of the controversy when the recast was first announced. And I can understand their perspective. You know, I know that, like, for the last, I mean, he was in, I believe the first Superman movie he was in was released in 2013. I think he got cast.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel. Yeah, I think he got cast in 2011 for that, officially announced. So, I mean, for almost 15 years now, people have associated Superman with Henry Cavill and Henry Cavill with Superman. Like, it's almost like they're interchangeable in a way in some people's eyes. And I get why they'd be frustrated with not seeing him in future movies or being told that he's not going to be a part of it anymore. But on the other hand, I also could see this kind of working out for DC in a way,
Yeah,
you know?
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with, like, people have, like, sort of built a connection up to the Henry Cavill Superman, and they expect certain things from a Henry Cavill Superman compared to a different Superman, you know? So especially with, like, rebooting, like, the storylines and everything, I could see why bringing in Henry Cavill Superman would make people sort of expect certain things to happen when they're, maybe that's not the vision for the DC. But yeah, I think he's definitely not the only new recast, you know? So it's gonna be very fresh. It's gonna be very new, and maybe hard for some people to adjust, but I think it could work out.
Yeah, and this movie is gonna have a lot of characters that were not in the previous universe. Of course, you know, he's gonna be accompanied by, you know, the core characters that Superman is typically accompanied by, but a lot of new supporting cast as well. Supergirl is rumored to be in the film, but it's not confirmed. So we'll find out when we go see the movie. It'd be cool if she was, but with her movie set to come out next year, I could see it both ways. You know, maybe a post-credit scene, meet in the middle. You know.
Yeah. 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 Totally.
Superman is gonna be accompanied by Lois Lane, of course, who's gonna be played by Rachel Brosnahan. She has appeared in multiple major TV shows: House of Cards, Blacklist, Orange is the New Black. So thankfully, she's going to be a major supporting character to Clark, or Superman, as Lois Lane is very important in bringing out the human side to Superman and giving Superman a reason to have hope in humanity and himself. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the trailer, she is asking him some pretty important questions and really making him think about why he is doing the things that he's doing and what he's doing them for. And I think that is really critical to identifying the core traits of this Superman, and kind of establishing how it's going to vary from Henry Cavill's a little bit as well, because, you know, like the colors as well, like, just the movie is so much more vibrant than, you know, than the very dark and gritty take of the Zack Snyder version of the character.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this character varies to the Zack Snyder universe, and how his character arc is gonna kind of evolve.
For sure. And His main foe is going to be Lex Luthor, one of his most famous ones, and it's going to be played by actor Nicholas Hoult. And a very interesting casting initially, but you know, like once it settled in a little bit, I was like, yeah, that's a really good casting because he has a lot of range. I mean, he's played a zombie, he's played a cocky asshole, he's played an awkward guy, I mean, he's played the smart and fearless guy too. I mean, he's been in multiple sci-fi films such as X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, Dark Phoenix, and Apocalypse as the character Beast. He was in Clash of the Titans, Mad Max Fury Road. So, you know, he's gonna be able to hold himself, you know, amongst this powerhouse of a cast and have the kind of presence that Lex Luthor needs. And I know that he and Henry are gonna own these roles for the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
He and David. I said
right. No, yeah.
Oops.
See, you connect Superman. To
yeah, you know, like it's just, you know, we're still getting used to it.
Yeah,
know, even myself. But yeah, David, Dr. David
yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Lex Luthor character. He looked awesome in the trailers, and I think it's a good casting, especially considering his like the previous experience that you've had and the range that he has as an actor. I feel like villains are the most interesting when they're like not a one-dimensional, you know, when they have range as a character.
Yeah.
And his previous experiences is going to help him hopefully reach into some other personalities to help accentuate the character.
Yeah, because you know he obviously hates Superman. I mean, like he is fuming to the point of tears in some scenes. You know, like he hates him, and he's got a giant building overlooking the entire city. You know, and he doesn't like that Superman can just fly above him. He wants to bring him down.
Yeah.
So we are also going to be introduced to the Green Lantern Corps with Guy Gardner being played by Nathan Fillion, who did appear in Guardians 3. I forgot the name of his character, but it was when they went to that research facility to get that information on Rocket, and he was one of the guards. Wearing those really funny suits.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He was hilarious in that scene. So when I saw that he was cast in this movie as a pretty major role, I was like, that's awesome. He's gonna be good. But yeah, so the Green Lanterns, for those who don't know, are a powerful intergalactic police force in the DC universe. And each lantern wields a ring that allows them to create anything they can imagine using pure willpower. It also allows for flight, energy projection, force fields, and the creation of various constructs. Guy Gardner first appeared in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 59, as one of the two worthy candidates to receive the Power Ring, with the other being Hal Jordan. In the original timeline, Hal becomes the Green Lantern, but later on, while Hal is looking at future viewing technology, he discovers that Guy would have been a really good Green Lantern had he had been picked instead. So we found him, made his acquaintance, and said, hey, I want this guy to be my replacement if anything happens to me. But before anything did happen to Hal, the Lantern Corps did allow for more than one Earth-based lantern, giving Guy Gardner a full-time spot. So Guy's usually the hot-headed macho guy, Green Lantern, so he's gonna be right in the middle of all of, if you want to call it the tea in this movie. He's gonna be right in the middle of it. And I'm really excited to see just how he interacts with Superman and the villains, because like in one of the screenshots of the trailer, he creates a construct of a middle finger hitting someone. So just take that into account as to how into what he's creating with his energy constructs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the character is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I believe there's a Green Lanterns project planned for 2026, I want to say. Yeah, so
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm curious to see how they use Guy Gardner to kind of set that up and see how it's going to extend the DCU.
Yeah. So the show is going to be following Hal Jordan, actually, as one of the leads. He's going to be played by Kyle Chandler. He was in one of my favorite movies, Super 8. He played the dad. Um, he was a bigger role. He was in Wolf of Wall Street as one of the main FBI agents, hunting down what's his name again in Wolf of Wall Street? I'm so dumb.
There's a song about him. Jordan Belfort.
Yeah. Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. That was a really good reference. But yeah, Hal Chandler is playing Hal Jordan, and he's played like the serious army guy in multiple movies, so he's gonna be able to have a really nuanced performance for sure. He's a really versatile actor, and I think he's a great casting, especially as a more seasoned version of Hal Jordan, a little older. It's gonna be cool, and he's gonna be accompanied by Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, played by Aaron Pierre. And they're going to be investigating a murder in Nebraska, and their case will uncover a dark conspiracy that will tie into cosmic events, blending grounded storytelling with the expansive lore of the Green Lantern Corps. And what's really interesting is I heard rumors, and I learned about this part of the DC universe recently, the emotional spectrum. So what that is and its ties to the Green Lanterns. So the Green Lanterns are the green aspect of the emotional spectrum, and the green represents willpower. And as the willpower is, as I previously mentioned, is what powers the Green Lantern's reign. So yellow is accompanied by fear, red is with rage, blue is with hope, purple is with compassion, orange is with greed, white is life, and black is being death. And each emotional aspect of the spectrum actually has its own superpowered individuals and teams in the comics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And one of the major villains to the Green Lanterns, you may have heard of him, Sinestro.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, he's yellow. So that's a possible storyline in the future too.
Okay.
I think in the original Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, he was the villain, Sinestro.
Okay.
I think so. That movie's a blur. It's probably the same to everybody else. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see the Lantern Corps. They like that. Just them in general have so much they can do with.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I feel like they're doing a lot of they're putting a lot of building blocks in place right now. With this first Superman movie, there's gonna be a lot of characters in it that they're gonna be introducing with that show too. How you said it's gonna tie into the cosmic events. I feel like it's gonna be there's some really cool stuff going on.
Yeah, and the first chapter has been titled by James Gunn. It's been titled Gods and Monsters.
That's right. Yeah.
So moving on, another major character appearing in Superman is Hawk Girl. Not Hot Girl. Hawk Girl. She will be played by Isabella Merced. Some notable characters she's played are Dina in the Last of Us show, Kay in Alien Romulus that came out recently. She played Isabel in Sicario Day of Soldado, and she also played Dora the Explorer.
Hey,
Dora the Lost City of Gold. Yeah. So she's got range from Dora to Sicario. I mean, that's
yeah.
Yeah, she has a lot of range, and she can definitely make the best out of a little and do a lot more with great. So, and she's also going to be in season 2 of Peacemaker along with Guy Gardner. In regard to her origins in the comics, it gets pretty convoluted, not gonna lie, but I watched an interview with the actress who's playing her, and she said that her character is an alien that is reincarnated into the character that she currently is right now.
Wow.
So she was an alien before that's reincarnated into who she is today. Her powers consist of flight, enhanced strength, combat skills, and she uses a mace that is made of a metal that can disrupt energy and magic. So that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got two more guys here. Two more really interesting characters that are going to be supporting Superman in the fight here. We have Metamorpho being played by Anthony Kerrigan. His design and backstory are really interesting to me. Anthony Kerrigan, he most notably played character named NoHo Hank in the show Barry, as he was nominated for an Emmy 3 times for that role. Yeah, Metamorpho, he has a unique body made of living elements which can enable him to transform into virtually any elemental compound. And he can stretch and morph and contort his body into weapons, tools, and he's highly resistant to damage, and he doesn't age, and he doesn't even need food or air.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Metamorpho is he was one of the characters that really like caught my eye when I was like doing my research for this. I think he's gonna be really cool. I hope he has a good role in this. His abilities are like some of the coolest, I feel like, that I've heard of, you know. Like shifting with the elements. I mean, it's awesome. I feel like everybody kind of wishes they could do that, you know, at one point in their life. So
yeah,
to see this character, it's going to be really cool. Another thing about Anthony Kerrigan, he was diagnosed with alopecia when he was 3 years old, and ever since he's been popular and successful, he's been an advocate for embracing yourself and bullying awareness and things like that.
Yeah.
And he actually said that given the backstory that Metamorpho has, considering he didn't like ask for these abilities that he has. He doesn't like, it's not like he wanted this. And Anthony Kerrigan said that he's going to be tapping into a lot of the personal experiences that he's had with his life growing up with alopecia, and he's going to use that to really give the character an interesting dynamic. And I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see. I think that's a great casting. I feel like he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, for sure. And in the character, you know, a lot of his personal conflicts are with his physical appearance and him wanting to be normal like other people. And and he got his appearance because he was betrayed on a mission and exposed to an orb that gave him these changes to his genetic structure that made it so he can turn into these compounds. So yeah, to be betrayed and changed forever. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you're immortal, but you know, you got to deal with that.
yeah, you can't be like normal, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, like you said, I think it's a fantastic casting, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, last big guy that I want to talk about here, Mr. Terrific, not to be confused with Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, he's going to be played by Eddie Gathegi. I believe that's how you say his last name. Forgive me if I butchered that. Who has most notably done So Dirty in X-Men First Class, as he played a character who was supposed to not be able to die. And he was the first one to die.
They killed the guy you can't kill.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's pretty impressive.
You know, and the rumor was like, oh, he changed into a different, he lives on a different plane of existence now. Okay, well, his physical body died. He's no longer here.
Yeah.
Physical plane of Earth with us. He is here.
Yeah, he's in the multiverse now.
Or here. Yeah. So he's going to be playing a much more awesome character now with more screen time, and I can almost guarantee a second appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this character. I believe Eddie Gathegi confirmed that this isn't going to be the only appearance that Mr. Terrific is in.
Terrific.
Yeah. He so another thing that I heard him saying about this is that something I found really interesting is kind of going along with this this new storyline and these new themes of the DC. Eddie Gathegi didn't really know what his character was going to become when the filming started. He kind of like learned and adapted to it as he went along, and kind of like adjusted the character through that.
Yeah.
He said the character is going to be a lot different than it was in the comics.
Well, that's cool.
He said he's going to be a lot more unhinged, apparently. So that's going to be pretty cool.
I like unhinged superheroes.
I do too. Yeah, and Mr. Terrific, I believe he's considered one of the smartest people on Earth, at least.
Yeah, in the comics, holds 14 PhDs, and he's an Olympic level athlete.
Oh, and he's a jock. Okay, all right. So he's got it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna be a really cool character. I hope they set something up for him to do in the future.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't want to compare him to Iron Man, but like with the technology and the intelligence,
the
unhingedness.
Yeah.
Can you blame me?
No, not at all. I could totally see that, man.
Although, I mean, like, if like you said, if the origin is going to vary from the comics a little bit, because in the comics, his pregnant wife passed away, and he contemplated suicide, but the spirit of divine vengeance, known as the Spectre, intervenes and tells him about the original Mr. Terrific, and he says, you know what? That guy was pretty cool. I'm smart. I'm athletic. I'ma just be like him. So then he uses his gifts to try and better humanity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good storyline.
Yeah. But... So I wonder if they do follow the death of the pregnant wife storyline, he'll be more unhinged as a result of that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I could see that being the catalyst that kind of like sends him, you know. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so with those being the big names that we wanted to go over, I wanted to highlight some key similarities and differences between the DCU and the previous DC extended universe, so that people can know what to expect moving forward. Because, you know, a reboot with the whole universe and some characters coming back, some characters not coming back, it can get confusing.
Yeah.
So I want to clear it up, set the record straight. So, straight up, the DCU is a reboot of the DC extended universe, with the only carryover being any project that was directed or written by James Gunn. That being the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker Season 1. Peacemaker will be receiving a Season 2, but what's interesting is that its Season 1 did take place in the previous cinematic universe, so narratively, it makes the most sense to approach this new universe like a parallel reality to the DC Extended Universe with minor differences in carryover, and having it become the so-called sacred timeline of the DC Universe now. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. It's kind of like if originally our universe was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe, and then it got rebooted into the MCU.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's a good way to make it make sense. Just put it in Marvel terms, and I'll probably get it.
Yeah. So, Amanda Waller, who did appear in the Suicide Squad, is going to be a character who does carry over into the new cinematic universe, as Viola Davis reprises her role in the very first animated show of the DC universe titled Creature Commandos, which introduces back to Waller in this new universe, as well as the character Weasel, who also appeared in the Suicide Squad. And the actor who played Crossbones in Captain America Civil War, Frank Grillo, he's going to be voicing Rick Flag Sr., who's a father to Rick Flag, of course, and who appeared in, as you guessed it, the Suicide Squad. They did make the death of Rick Flag canon to the DC Universe, as Rick Flag Sr. did reference it in the Creature Commanders show. And Rick Flag Sr. will also be appearing in Superman, with Frank Grillo reprising his role, playing the character.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The show, Creature Commandos, also introduced us to the island of Themyscira, who, for those who don't know, is where Wonder Woman comes from. And while her only appearance in the Creature Commandos was an apocalyptic vision and her being dead in it. She's gonna appear in more stuff in the future, in it hopefully in a much more respectable light.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the villain of Creature Commandos also hails from Themyscira, her name being Circe, different from the Circe from Marvel Eternals. For those,
Thank you for clarifying that.
it is spelled differently as well.
Mhm.
The DC one, Circe, little interesting spelling there. But yeah, so Circe is acting upon an apocalyptic vision to seeing the ending of the world. So she is trying to stop the ending of the world, and that'll happen if a certain person comes to power. I won't spoil who that person is, but she's trying to kill that person to prevent the end of the world. And Batman makes a brief cameo in Creature Commandos. Does not have any speaking lines, but his presence is felt, which is awesome. And, I can't wait to see what the DCU is going to do with Batman. Robert Pattinson, I don't think he's going to be the DCU's Batman, unfortunately. Or some people call him Robert Pattin-Bat.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine either way if he's our Batman or if he isn't. But I do think having another casting of Batman could confuse general audiences as to what Batman is in what universe, as there's already an influx of multiverse stuff. So DC should definitely tread lightly in approaching Batman, as many aspects of this universe are already ready to show themselves to the big screen and the TV screen to a wide selection of audiences. And they're going to be a major competitor to Marvel. And they got Batman, so you got to be careful. So lastly, the last character that is going to be crossing over here is not technically a character, but it's the actor, Jason Momoa. He played Aquaman in the DC Extended Universe. He's going to be playing a new role in the DC Universe. He's going to be playing the character named Lobo. I know, funny name, but he's officially cast in the Supergirl movie coming out next year. And he confirmed himself that he has already filmed his parts of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, Lobo was created by Roger Slifer and Keith Giffen. He made his first appearance in Omega Men #3 in June 1983, and is regarded as a notorious anti-hero in the DC Comics, and he's known for his chaotic nature and crazy power. He hails from a utopian planet called Zarnia. Czarnia. I'm gonna go Zarnia.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So it is described as a planet being populated by nearly immortal beings, and he killed all of them. he killed all of them. He is the last of his kind. He rides a space motorcycle called the Space Hog.
That is.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Ghost Rider, but obviously,
I was going to say that.
Yeah, like with no skull. He kind of looks more like a werewolf with like less like not as much hair.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is a hairy guy, so
he got a lot of hair.
Yeah, Lobo's got superhuman strength. He can match Superman in fights, actually. He's got regeneration, and like I said, his planet is from nearly immortal beings, and he killed all of them. He's actually banned from heaven and from hell, so he's effectively undying.
Wow.
He can withstand extreme physical and environmental conditions, including surviving in space. Obviously good combat skills, and he can create clones of himself from a single drop of blood.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool way to get the power, honestly. I haven't heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine he's getting sliced up and then he's like this, he makes more. I wonder if they carry on his sentience and his memories and everything too. That'd be cool. So yeah, those are all of the major DC extended universe characters and actors that are going to cross over into the new DC universe. And last topic here. You just want to go over the current film release schedule for the DC universe so we can kind of see what we can expect in the near future?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the current film release schedule has 3 confirmed dates and 6 unconfirmed dates. So we got nine confirmed movies within the next, I'm gonna say 3 years, maybe 4. So the first obviously being Superman coming out next month, July 11th. Then we got Supergirl following Superman, set to be released summer, June 26th of 2026, so next year. Yeah, basically just a year from year and however many days, 10 or 9 days from today. So not bad. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it seems I'm excited for it too. James Gunn said this one's going to be also very different than previous ones, so seems like maybe he's just flipping the whole thing on its head.
Mm-hmm.
This one, this Supergirl is supposed to be apparently more hardcore, according to James Gunn. So that's going to be a cool element to explore. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. I think a reason that we're getting a Supergirl movie and not a Wonder Woman movie is particularly due to the negative reception that the Wonder Woman movies got in the DC Extended Universe. The first one was good, but some of her acting in the Justice League film and particularly the poor reception of Wonder Woman 2 or 1984, if you want to be specific, the reception was terrible. And Gal Gadot, the actress who played Wonder Woman at the time, is not going to return for the role. Obviously, the role is being recast. So, yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the movie. I am.
Yeah, me too. And I'm interested how they're gonna, or if they're going to connect her in the Superman movie at all. If she's gonna have, like we talked about, maybe like an end credit scene or a cameo or anything leading up to her stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not really familiar with her usual supporting characters. So on some characters that we learned about who are going to be accompanying Superman, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. I never really heard of these characters until now, so I'm really excited to see what characters accompany Supergirl as well.
Yeah.
And
Exciting.
one of the biggest DC news was announced today, actually. Clayface, who's going to be receiving a solo movie next year, was cast. The role was not cast until today. Conveniently, Clayface did appear in the Creature Commandos TV show, played by actor Alan Tudyk, who will be voicing a Superman robot in the Superman movie. So he will not be returning for the role as Clayface in the live action film, as his current role is going to be the Superman robot. I think if Creature Commandos does get another season, if they already have confirmed another season, then you can slap me in the face. But I believe he will reprise his role for voicing the character, but in regards to the live action appearance, it's going to be played by actor Tom Rhys Harries. No, I never heard of the actor before, so I think it's really cool that James Gunn is still hiring people who are not like big names, so they can really get a presence to, or an opportunity to shine and really make their presence known.
Yeah, totally. DC, I mean, especially with the rollout that they have planned right now, being a big role in a DC movie is going to be big for a lot of people's careers, and it's going to help catapult a lot of people into a bigger level of stardom that they were in before. And yeah, I'm excited to see how people embrace them.
Yeah, and if James Gunn and Peter Safran give you the job, then I have faith that you'll do good. Tom Harris is obviously anxious to hear our reaction to his casting.
Totally, yeah. I know he's.
You got this, Tom. The guy.
Yeah, really exciting.
Yeah, the movie's scheduled to come out in 2026 as well, on 9/11.
Oh, really? They have an official date for it?
Yeah, 9/11. Weird date. I will say, since they only have about a year and a few months to get this movie done, And they
Yeah,
just casted the role. I'm predicting a delay to December or maybe even to early 2027.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I believe a couple other projects have been delayed or are going to be delayed,
Yeah.
at least. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as like, it definitely feels like a late casting. Maybe he's gonna have less of a um, like an on-screen role than we think, but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And Clayface is a really interesting character. B-list actor who tries to change his appearance and ends up becoming the Clayface monster.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So then we got 6 unconfirmed releases, as in there are no dates, but the titles are confirmed. So we have The Authority. Pretty cool team. Basically, the team views the world as broken and puts fixing things into their own hands by absolutely any means necessary. One of the members of the Authority is named the Engineer, and she will be appearing in the Superman film, by the way, played by Maria Gabriela de Faria. I wasn't familiar with this team either, but when I found out they were getting a film, having characters appear in Superman, I did some research, and they're a very interesting group. The team is described as follows. I did pull this from Wikipedia. The original lineup consists of Jenny Sparks, a British woman who can generate and turn into electricity. Wow, it kind of sounds like Electro.
Yeah.
Jock Hawksmoor, who was physically bonded to cities in order to communicate with them and receive powers from them. That's insane.
Pretty cool.
Then we got Swift, who was a Tibetan woman who possesses wings and sharp talons. It's probably similar to Hawk Girl.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Hawk Girl,
there's a K in there. It's not a T.
Yeah. Then we got Apollo, who is a bioengineered Superman pastiche. A pastiche is an imitation, per se. And then Midnighter, who is also a Batman pastiche, who possesses the ability to foresee his opponent's moves in combat. And then the Engineer, as previously mentioned, is a scientist who had replaced her blood with 9 pints of nanotechnology and can create solid objects with the nanotechnology. And then the last member of the team is the Doctor. That's tough.
That's pretty sick.
I'm the Doctor, baby. What are you gonna do about it? He's a Dutch drug addict and shaman who possesses the combined powers of the hundreds of shamans who came before him.
Wow.
This needs to be a Guardians of the Galaxy type movie, rated R.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good idea.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, this team sounds pretty sick. Everybody has like really cool individual powers on their own. It's gonna be cool to see how they put them together, and I think the backstory or the motivation that they have is really interesting too.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Next up, we have Batman, Brave and the Bold.
Heard of them?
Yep. It's going to be a Bat family movie, which is primarily focusing on Batman and Robin. Peter Safran and James Gunn will be in charge of this movie.
Yeah.
Producing, at least.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to be playing Batman and Robin.
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
No. Although, I'm surprised James Gunn didn't cast his brother as Batman. He cast his brother and everything. Although his brother is playing Max Lord in the DCU.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so he'll be in there. But yeah, following Brave and the Bold, we have Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
said to be directed and written by the guy who made directed Ford versus Ferrari, and more popularly, the Logan movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Mangold, director of Logan. Dude, I mean, him putting him behind a Swamp Thing, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fit. Obviously, Logan, rated R movie. I could totally see Swamp Thing they've said it's gonna be more of a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be focusing. Or he said it's going to be darker than most of the DCU movies. So I'm really intrigued by this. I could totally see it being rated R, possibly. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know, he's most commonly depicted as obviously a swamp monster with an anthropomorphic mound of organic matter, seeking to protect life from threats of both scientific and supernatural origin. So kind of sounds like an anti-hero to me. You know,
Yeah.
like only comes out if he needs to, only if it affects him.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, oh, he's your enemy too. All right, fine, I'll fight. Yeah, and like we mentioned before, we're getting a Teen Titans movie.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
Who do you want to see in that?
What was that?
Who do you want to see in that movie?
Ooh, so I think Young Cyborg is going to be really cool. I think Beast, right? That's his name, right? Beast? Is it just Beast? The little green guy?
Who's it? Beast Boy.
Beast Boy? Yeah, Beast Boy, yeah. He was always my favorite in the shows, like, growing up, so I'm going to be excited to see how these characters are similar and how James Gunn is going to change them, you know? Yeah, so what about you?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's probably going to be the same Robin as in the Brave and Bold movie, right? Could be. So, I mean, it's going to be cool to probably, hopefully he'll lead the team.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to see. Hopefully he can bring some experience to the rest of the team and maybe be the one who gathers them together.
Yeah, that could be cool. I could see Brave and the Bold kind of ending in a way, or having like a end credit scene that kind of sets up Robin needing to go out and get his team, you know? So
yeah, like maybe Batman has to, like, yo, I gotta go this way.
Yeah.
There's some stuff over here.
Yeah.
Go get your homies.
Yeah,
deal with it. I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
Yep, and then we got 2 more movies here. We got a Bane and Deathstroke movie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa is right.
Whoa. For those who don't know, Bane was the villain of the 3rd Christian Bale Batman movie. Directed by Christopher Nolan. Those trilogy of movies, The Dark Knight Rises. So he's going to be receiving a new iteration in this universe, a different take on the character. And fun fact about Deathstroke, he inspired Deadpool. Deadpool was inspired by Deathstroke. Deathstroke first appeared in 1980 in the new Teen Titans issue number 2. His power set being a mercenary and assassin with enhanced physical abilities, tactical genius, and a healing factor. And Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Deadpool's name, Wade Wilson.
Slade and Wade Wilson, huh?
Yeah. Deadpool appeared 10 years later in 1991 in the New Mutants issue 98. And although, I mean, his Deadpool's healing factor is notably way stronger than Deathstroke's. And obviously, since Deadpool is a Marvel character, he has the ability to be labeled as a mutant. Deathstroke doesn't, since he's from the DC universe. Those things don't exist in either universe. But yeah, I just wanted to point out those facts because Deathstroke isn't really talked about as much as Deadpool. I mean, the Deadpool movies really popularized the character. Yeah. Especially with him breaking into the MCU sacred timeline, you know, he's become more popular than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be cool to see Deathstroke come out on the big screen, and I really hope there are some people who are like, why are they copying Deadpool? Be like, no,
yeah,
it's the other way around. I could be a nerd for one moment and feel good about it.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be the Bane Deathstroke's gonna be awesome. It's a movie, right? Or is it a show?
It's a movie.
Movie. Yeah, that movie is gonna be awesome. I'm excited to see how they sort of flesh out Bane and Deathstroke's characters. and see what kind of topics they broach with that, because I feel like that one's gonna have a bit of a different feel than some of the other some of the other DC projects that we get.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be pretty unique.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And don't kill me for calling DC Marvel, please.
Deathstroke's just gonna pull up with all of his weapons.
Yeah.
You did it. Too late. People wanted the actor that played Drax.
Ooh.
Dave Bautista, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they wanted him to play Bane.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be cool casting. He said he's too old to play the role, but I'm like, dude, stunt doubles. I don't know if you've heard of them.
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And, we have really good editing. We can do it. Just be there. Be square. Yeah. You can do it. It would be really cool.
Yeah, I think he could provide a really cool presence. Yeah.
And then lastly, we have an unofficial Wonder Woman movie. Like I said before, we need more Wonder Woman. I feel like the DCEU's negative reception of her character is why she isn't getting a focus right now.
Mm-hmm.
And her only appearance so far in the DCU has been her dying in a apocalyptic vision. So they gotta do her better. I mean, she's regarded as one of DC's big three: her, Superman, and Batman. So I don't know, she's got to get more respect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. She's got to have some kind of role.
Yeah, I mean, how much do you like Wonder Woman? Like, what's your take on her?
I like her. I don't know a ton about her, obviously, as a new DC fan, but I mean, I know that, like, when I think of DC, she's like one of the people that you think about, obviously. Like her,
me too.
Like you said, the holy triad of DC is Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. And I think that if she doesn't have at least a solid role in this universe, then I feel like I think it's gonna feel a little different, or maybe like something's missing, But so yeah, hopefully they commit to a project for her, and do her justice that she deserves.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a very empowering symbol for feminism and for women for many decades, and right now is a really good time to jump on that. People really want to see be careful with my words here. People want to see women written in a good way, like Princess Leia is a great example. She's a very powerful character. We're not Disney Princess Leia. I just want to clarify, but she's a great character in my opinion. Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Katara, they're both very well written female characters. So I feel like in Wonder Woman, also in her first iteration in the DCEU, she was also like written greatly in my opinion, at least for the most part. So I really feel like there are a lot of ways that they can write her well, and I think they should definitely hire someone who understands her character very well, and I think they will. I have faith that they will, but they got to do her right, because we can see how it can be done wrong, like and not just with her sequel movie doing bad as well, but also when Joss Whedon directed the Justice League. I'm specifically referring to that one scene where Ezra Miller just face planted into her chest, just like, okay, like, come on. Oh, he fell into her boobs, haha. Like come on, man. Like we can do better than that. Or just her using her lasso of truth to like reveal like a very embarrassing secret, like her like like there's more to her than just like little jokes.
Yeah, she is Wonder Woman. Don't do these like petty little like drama spill the tea bits with her. Make her Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean she's the most powerful person to come out of an island of warrior goddess woman.
Yeah.
So I really hope they do her right.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that about wraps up our DC episode. We talked about a lot here. I mean, there was a lot to talk about. I mean, it's a whole new universe
Yeah.
being born, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, really exciting stuff.
And next episode, will be coming out not on Wednesday, but on Thursday. Just life scheduling stuff, you know. But we'll be going over our predictions from Sunday that we made for MLB and the games that we were talking about. And we'll also be breaking down the Rafael Devers trade, and as well as some other notable events and performances as well, and some future predictions that we will go over the following episode.
Yep.
So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And leave any comments if you have any questions. We will be reading them, replying to them, as we want to make a great community here, as we've been saying in previous episodes. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next episode. Have a great day.